Do you remember this game? Or this one? These games were the iconic parts of the Prince of Persia series, which were way ahead of its time in terms of gameplay, animation, and storyline. The other two parts of the trilogy, Warrior Within and The Two Thrones, were equally good, but the other versions of the game, some of which you may have not even heard of, didn't live up to our expectations. Things got worse when the latest addition to the series was way off track and was nothing similar to the previous versions. The series first started in 1989, and it was written and developed by Jordan Mechner, who self-funded the game. Although there wasn't much to write, the story took place in medieval Persia. Players control an unnamed protagonist who navigates through a series of 12 dungeons to defeat the evil Grand Vizier Jafar and save an imprisoned princess, all within an hour. The animation was so fluid and lifelike that the other games released around the same time barely held up. These animations were modeled from actual recorded footage of Jordan Mechner's brother performing activities that occur in the game. This game was such a rage that it sold 2 million copies in Japan, United States, and Europe at that time, which was a huge deal. The next two games that were released shortly after Prince of Persia 1 were Prince of Persia Shadow and the Flame and Prince of Persia 3D. While Shadow and the Flame became quite popular because of more complex levels, a richer storyline, and enhanced gameplay mechanics, Prince of Persia 3D received negative reviews due to glitchy gameplay and ended up being a commercial disappointment. In the late 1990s, Mattel, a renowned toy manufacturer, acquired the Learning Company, which was the owner of the Prince of Persia franchise. Mattel was under a lot of financial stress due to the acquisition, and the Prince of Persia franchise performed poorly as well. To cut their losses short, Mattel sold off their entire entertainment division, which also contained the Prince of Persia franchise, to Ubisoft in 2001. Ubisoft was a renowned video game publisher with a strong track record and saw potential in the Prince of Persia franchise. In 2003, Ubisoft released The Sands of Time, which was critically acclaimed and commercially successful. The trilogy begins with Sands of Time, where the prince accidentally releases the Sands of Time, turning people into monsters. He allies with Farah to reverse the disaster, ultimately using the Dagger of Time to undo the chaos. The next game in the trilogy was Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. In Warrior Within, the prince is hunted by the Dahaka, the guardian of the timeline, due to his interference with time. He travels to the island of Time to prevent the creation of the Sands, where he confronts the Empress of Time, Kaelina, and in one timeline, kills her, inadvertently creating the Sands. The final game in this epic trilogy was Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. The Two Thrones follows the prince's return to Babylon with Kaelina, only to find the city in ruins and under siege. Kaelina is killed, releasing the Sands of Time once more. The prince is then infected by the Sands, creating his dark alter ego, the Dark Prince, who battles for control over him. The story culminates in a final confrontation with the Vizier, who has used the Sands to become immortal. The prince ultimately defeats the Vizier and frees himself from the Dark Prince, and restores peace to Babylon. The next game, Prince of Persia Classic, was more of a tribute than a well-thought-out game. They recreated the game with better graphics and audio, and then added some more graphics, making the princess's pants disappear. For some reason, Ubisoft is obsessed with making pants disappear. The next game in the series was Prince of Persia 2008. This game had a new storyline and a different prince. The gameplay is open world with seamless transitions between platforming and combat. I personally like the new direction of the series. If Ubisoft had continued in the open world direction, we'd probably have a far better Prince of Persia series today. The next game in the series was Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. Now, although this game didn't sell much, I personally liked this game. This game had improved graphics and introduced some crazy elemental powers. Overall, this game was very good and stuck to the nostalgia of the previous trilogy. It probably failed because of a lack of a storyline, because after starting a new story with Prince of Persia 2008, Ubisoft tried to go back to the previous storyline, and that turned out to be disastrous. The latest game in the franchise is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. In The Lost Crown, the prince has a makeover. He has dreads. He doesn't look Persian anymore. And the title track has rap music. I think after 13 long years, Ubisoft forgot that the prince was supposed to be from Persia and not... Although this game is a side-scroller on steroids, nobody wanted a side-scroller in 2023. Unsurprisingly, this game could only sell 300,000 copies. There is an upcoming remake of Sands of Time due to release in 2025, and I hope this remake really reboots this legendary franchise again. That's all from my side, guys. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.